Well, it's been almost 20 years since the release of one of the most sophisticated horror films of the genre. Finally, we got a companion piece that can kick those other pieces of shit to the curb. Oh! What up, guys? Bobo here with BrassReel Brothers. Thanks for coming back for some more popcorn. Well, I saw Candyman last night, and man, was I thrown off, surprised, and pleased. This movie was fantastic. In 1992, we had the release of Candyman, which to me is truly one of the more sophisticated films of the genre. In a time where slashers were dominating all kind of stuff, but also on their way out, Clive Barker comes up with this awesome, deep-rooted story that just has so much meat to it. You could really dig deep into this character and the origin. And while that first movie is awesome and still holds up today, the sequels were gut-wrenching. I'm talking bad. But I think that anybody can agree, when Tony Todd first played that role of Candyman, he immediately became an icon. People were dressing up as him for Halloween. Every kid in the world was afraid to say that Candyman thing in the mirror. And to have a lore that floats over from a film that makes you a little afraid in real life is genius. And they really make you feel that in this one. The thing about Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, all that stuff, while those guys are the big three and I love them with all my heart, those movies are formulaic and it's more of just like to scratch that itch. But when I first saw Candyman, the 1992 version, it really blew me away with its sophistication. And this follow-up we have right here does not disappoint. And it is a sequel, full-on sequel. They're basically doing the same thing they did with the 2018 Halloween, erasing all the other sequels, which the Candyman when there were only two. And while there's this bandwagon going on where like Hollywood wants to make a new movie that connects to the first one and erase all the sequels of franchises, this was the first one that brought something truly new to the table and connected it in a way that you didn't see coming. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, just gonna tell you what I thought, but this movie really did surprise me. The first one was definitely a commentary on society for that time and talking about what had led up to a lot of racial injustice to that point. This one does the same thing that one did, but addressing the modern problems we have. And it's not preachy and it's not woke either. It's really well done and the message is awesome. It's directed by Nia DaCosta, which she knows what she's doing. This proves it. Watching this movie, you'll see it's directed very well. The imagery, everything, the feeling, the tone, the score, all of it is there. In fact, immediately when this movie starts off with the credits, and it does have a full-on opening credits scene, not an opening scene, has the old school opening credits, which I like that sometimes, kind of gets you primed for what you're about to watch. You're immediately noticing how beautiful and well shot this movie looks. It's very elegant feeling, it looks elegant, the script is awesome. And a little side note, a lot of people might not realize this, but she's doing the sequel to Captain Marvel called The Marvels. And Marvel hired her because of them seeing this movie and being like, she's good, we need to get her right now. And interestingly enough, Teyonah Parris is the main lead girl in this movie, and she played Monica Rambeau in WandaVision. But as always, I'm getting off track. The main thing I really liked about this film is that it connects to the first one throughout the entire film, but not in an annoying way and not in a cheap way. They're doing it because the story really does connect well. I've never seen a sequel that's 20 years later like this one is or whatever, tying in so well to the thread of the first film. Yeah, the 2018 Halloween was awesome and it was a great follow-up to the original movie, but I'm telling you, this one has a better connection. It's starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen, which is a great actor. He's a star, he's up and coming, you'll see him for years to come. And Teyonah Parris, they're the main actors that you follow in this movie. But there's a huge connection to the original character in the first Candyman, Helen Lyle, played by Virginia Madsen. Not only is her voice in this movie with narrations, but they talk about that character in the events. And like I said, they do some amazing writing to tie all this in. It's also one of those movies that had me thinking for hours after it, and even today when I woke up, I was still thinking more about it, putting pieces together. I went and saw it with my stepdad, and we were even the whole way home talking about it, and even this morning we were talking about it. And that's good. If a movie has your brain reeling like that, in a non-frustrating way, not like Tenet, to me, that's what it's all about. I love pondering over movies that I loved and where it's making me realize more and more stuff after the film's over. And while it does connect to the original one wholeheartedly, you don't have to see it. You can watch this movie and totally get caught up on the first one. But if you have seen the first one, this is so much more enjoyable, all kinds of Easter eggs throughout. And for horror fans, especially Candyman fans, you're gonna be really pleased. Because not only did they follow the lore that you already know, but they deepen the lore. They make it more rich and make you feel more connected to the message behind the lore, which is ultimately about a lot of racial injustice. And that's what the Candyman character in 1992 was originally created upon. Slavery back in the 1800s. Anyways, all I'm saying is it was just very well written. It was co-written by Jordan Peele and Nita Costa, produced by Jordan Peele. But you could tell these guys had a real love for the story and they wanted to say something with this, and they did. Like I said, I was very surprised but pleased. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It's also one of those movies that has that slow build that's just rising, and finally gets to a point. Doesn't really follow that whole boom, bang, first act, and then we got to slow it down. And then it's even really not a slasher, but it is a horror film, and it's dark in moments, and all the kills are great. My only complaint about the movie is that I do wish it would have been a little more terrorizing, but that's partially probably because of me building it up just like I do everything. But I do wish it was just a little more terrorizing. It is scary and it is creepy, all that stuff. I just really wanted to be kind of like the way I felt when I walked out of Devil's Rejects. I mean, I was really just like... But other than that, I was extremely satisfied. It has a ton of layers, it's directed beautifully, acted beautifully, the special effects are all great, and it has a really deep, meaningful message that I think that we all could pay attention to. And I will watch it again very soon, just because of the layers. So Candyman 2021, I give it an A-. And I'm not kidding, guys. Go see this movie. It's very sophisticated. This is the definition of highbrow horror. Well, that'll do it for this review, guys. Thanks for clicking on this video and hit the like button if you enjoyed it. And also, if you guys are bored during the week, Monday through Thursday, I do a live streaming show about a bunch of movie news at 1 o'clock Central Time. It's only an hour long, but a lot of times I have some of my friends and guests that we talk on there. It's all a bunch of news about everything coming out to the big screen, everything coming out home to stream, and all the shenanigans going on behind the scenes. Look for Bobby Williams on Facebook. Look for BrassReel Brothers on Facebook. Look for BrassReel Brothers on Twitter. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you can help us make it to the top. And as always, if life gives you lemons, make some hot, fresh popcorns.
New to the neighborhood.